Welcome everyone for this new coding session. So this morning we started to look at how to use the XRPL JS library, so to submit transactions to the ledger. And I really wanted this session to be to create the base foundation of what we are going to do next. So I hope everything was clear, and so I think it was very useful because now we can keep building on what we've done today. We have now the wallets, we have the client, and we know how to create new transactions. So that's what we're going to do today with NFT. One thing also is that you can always recreate accounts if you need. Okay, so you just go to the testnet, to the faucet, and you regenerate credentials like we did this morning. I think for now that will be fine because we just did like 1 or 2 payments with those accounts. So those accounts haven't changed much since their creation. So I think we can keep them for now. But again, that's what I wanted to mention to you. So the content for this session 2, I'm going to present you the tools that we're going to use, very similar to session 1. Next, we are going to look at NFTs. We are going to see how we can use the transactions to create NFTs and associate them to your account. And finally, TrustSet. So TrustSet will allow us to create tokens. And we'll see, according to times, we'll see what we can do, cannot do. So we are flexible. And again, if you have any question, please let me know. If you're blocked somewhere, let me know. I really want us to be on the same level, and that at the end, at least, we are able to mint a token, an NFT, all of us. Okay, so don't be shy, let me know. So the tools. We need Node, again, we have that. Visual Studio Code, we have it again. GitHub, so you can still use the same code that you used this morning. I hope that you created also a branch. Maybe that will be easier for you after that to merge. I don't know, to do some changes if you need. The new tools that we're going to use are Giphy. So Giphy will be it's like creating GIF, and we'll use those images to create the NFT. So that will be the URL that we will enter in the URI field that Marco mentioned in the session before. So I think those are fun, and it's easy to implement. And the last one is BitHump. It's another explorer. This morning we looked at the XRPL.org explorer. Today, right now we're going to look at BitHump. Those two are very great, but why I like BitHump for this exercise is that we can see the GIF in the explorer. So it's going to be really interactive. You can see the NFT, the GIF being created, and you can see then the offer being created and the GIF being transferred between accounts. All right, so it's important as well that you connect to the testnet BitHump. Otherwise, you will not be able to see the data later. All right, so the transactions. So NFT stands for non-fungible token, and we have 5 transactions which have been added to the XRP ledger. First one, NF token mint, and this is the one we'll use first. As it says, you mint a token, so you create the NFT. Second one, NF token create offer, and this is the transaction, the function that you will use when you want to sell or buy an NFT. Okay. We have an accept offer, and as it says, when you want to acquire an NFT, then you will use that transaction to do it. Cancel offer, if you want to withdraw that NFT from the market. And token burn is really if you want to remove the token from the ledger. And with this, we have 2 possibilities. Either the original minter of the NFT can do it, or as well the owner of the NFT, if it has been sold to someone else. Okay, and this capability can be enabled or disabled inside the transaction. I think it's in NF token mint that we can specify that option. All right, what I wanted to show you also before we go further, that's XRPL.org. And I really incentivize you to use that website, to go there and see the transactions, see the fields which are required by those transactions. As you can see, this morning we used the payment, that's one, but also we have the NF token transactions that we'll use now, not all of them, but some of them. But as well, there are many other transactions, and it's very important for you to go in there and to check really what fields are needed. So if we go into NF token mint, we can see that we have an example JSON there. You have all the fields below with the description. You can see the fields which are mandatory, optional. So that will help you as well with the libraries to know which one you need to define, which one are optional. And that's a very, very good website. I use it all the time. I don't remember all the fields all the time, so I constantly go to that website to see what a field means and how to use it, what kind of data is there. So you have the fields as well. You have the flags which are explained as well, which is also something Marco mentioned, that, for example, if you want the NFT to be transferable to someone, then you would use a specific flag, and in that case, that's the transferable one. So you would specify this in your transaction. And you have as well more information about like all those transactions, and you can have as well an example of the response and some error cases. So that's what, again, I wanted to emphasize. Go to this website if you have any question or any issue. All right, so back to the presentation. Exercise overview. So we are going to have two wallets, and those two wallets, we created them this morning, wallet 1, wallet 2, and one will act as the minter, so the creator of the NFT, and the second wallet will act as the buyer, so there will be a transfer. Let's go further. So this is a GIF that I found on giphy.com, and you can type any keywords and you'll find any kind of GIF you want. So the first exercise with the NF token mint transaction will be to create that NFT using that GIF or another one, the one you will find on giphy.com. Okay? So then, when we'll go into the Explorer, into BitHump, we'll be able to see all the NFT information and as well the URI, so the GIF in there. And we'll do that in a second. All right, let's start with this one. Let's start with that. Let's go to the coding first. We'll create an NF token mint transaction, and we'll see in the Explorer how it looks like. All right, so again, let me know if I'm going too fast, if I'm going too slow, if you have any issue. That's very important. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code. And in the transactions directory, let's create a new file called, let's say, NFTs. NFTs.ts. All right? So we'll create a function, again, to mint an NFT. That's an arrow function. All good. We'll as well import the client. That's what will allow us to, again, submit the transaction to the ledger. We'll need the client everywhere for all the transactions that I showed you on the xrpl.org website. So we just imported it. All good. And we'll have, again, two parameters for the mint NFT functions, very similar to the payment transaction. We'll have all the fields required for the NF token mint. And second, we'll have the transaction options, including the wallet. So similar as what we did before, we can create a type, let's say mint NFT props. And again, we want, because we are going to call this function inside index.ts, there is no need really, again, to specify the transaction type and the account initiating that transaction, because we can specify it directly here for the transaction type, and because the wallet is specified in the second parameter of the function. Am I clear? It's okay? All good? All right, so very similar to payments, we're going to omit from the NF token. Let me import it first from XRPL. There will be a better auto-completion. NF token mint. Right, you got it? So NF token mint. And from this, we omit the transaction type and the account. All good. So let's specify first the first parameter. So let's say the props is mint NFT props, and the second we extract the wallet from transaction options. I'm going to wait like a few seconds because I don't want to go too fast. Everything okay? So first one will be all the fields, like for example the flags, the URI, that will be contained in those props. And the second one will be the transaction option, containing especially the wallet that will sign the transaction, that will emit the transaction. Okay, so in this wallet, then we'll have the NFT. All right? Great. So similar to what we did before, we need to prepare the transaction, sign, and submit and wait. Okay? So let's prepare the transaction. Let's call it like NFT mint, NFT mint transaction, which is of type NF token mint. So we are going to spread the props. The account is the wallet address, and then the transaction type is NF token mint. All right. That's the simplest way to prepare the transaction here. But we have like two fields, I think, which are important maybe to define here, define better than just spreading the props. Number one is the URI. The URI typically is in hexadecimal. So what we want to do is convert the URI that will be sent to that function into hexadecimal. We don't want to call that function and having to think about converting it all the time. We optimize the function. And we can also define here the token taxon. Taxon, which is an identifier of the NFT. We don't really need an identifier here, so we'll just like place, for example, 0, and that will be the ID. All right, so let's update that a little bit. So for that, we're gonna extract two fields from, the URI from the mint NFT props type, okay? And we're gonna take all the rest. So here, are you familiar with that? So I'm just extracting the URI and taking everything else. So then I can spread all the other fields in this object here. So instead of props, I will spread the rest, all the other fields. And I'm going to specify the URI here. And I'm going to convert it to hexadecimal. To do that, XRPL.js provides us a function, convert string to X. Okay, so we're going to use this function here, convert string to X, and we're going to take the URI that we get here. And because the URI is optional, I'm just like defaulting it to like an empty string if there is nothing. But we really should provide a URI to the function when we create the NFT. Otherwise, there is nothing. All right? So that's really like optimizing the function and making sure we don't have to convert it to X every time we call mint NFT.
I want to understand how the URI parameter can be optional for an NFT.
Well, I mean, you can create the object, but then there is no proper need to apply an image to it. I don't really see why you would do that, but that's the way it has been defined. So you can do it, but I would definitely always input a URI, and I would use IPFS, as Marco mentioned before, an immutable data there that cannot be changed, and you would put the image there. That's what I would do. I've always done that. So, all right, and one last thing I wanted to do.
I've got a question also.
Yep.
Is it possible to store data without IPFS on the NFT directly? Like it's the case.
Yeah, you can basically store data wherever you want and make it.
What I've seen is that you have to pass the data through the URI.
Yeah.
Basically to put the data in, and
Yeah.
there is no option to like have some data directly in the NFT.
On-chain?
Yeah, on-chain data.
So no, it's usually the best way is really to include it somewhere else outside of the ledger, and then you reference it with the URI field. Yeah, but IPFS is one option. There are many, I think, other options where you can store your data. And for example, right now we're going to use like an HTTPS link with Jiffy, and we'll see in the Explorer later that BitHome is able to read that link and display it in the Explorer.
But if I have like small data, I could put it in the URI.
Yeah, you could put it here. Like, yeah, if you have just one string, you know, like a very small object, you could technically put it here. I know that also why it's better to also put the data outside is that, like, for space consumption, like perspective, you know, it's better to store like more data outside and then leave the data in chain as small as possible. So if you have a small object, I think that's fine. If you have like a bigger one, then it's better to put it on IPFS or somewhere else. All good? Is everything okay there? I don't want to go again too fast. All right, so then I'm going to also extract, let's see, the NF token taxon. No, sorry. No need to do that. Sorry. I can put it directly here. So I don't want to, let me double check actually if this one is really necessary. Yeah, okay. So better to do maybe is like we're going to extract it and we are going to set that value in the object. If the value is going to be declared, then it's going to be assigned to the object. Otherwise, we can default it to like another value that we want. So let's try to put it to 0 here. And we can remove it here. Does that make sense, what I've done? Do you have any questions? So I make this value defaulting to 0 in case we don't specify it. Okay, I extract the URI, I convert it to X, and all the other fields, like the flags and other which are specific to the NF token mint, I'm placing it in here in the ... rest, the spread.
The function converts string to X. What it does is only converting string to X, or it does...
Yeah. So again, I showed you run.js earlier today, and I think that's a great tool again because you can quickly check that kind of functionality. So if we do like an XRPL, let me comment this first line before. If we do an XRPL convert string to X, and I say, hello, XRPL Commons. You see, we have like an X which is generated. So it's a very good tool to have. And it also does, you have a functionality that does the opposite, convert X to string. And there are, again, plenty of functionalities, helpers in the libraries, so feel free to explore, to look into this. It's very, very useful. All right. So now that we have done this, where is my code? Yeah, so we have preparing the initial transaction, okay? Do you remember what we need to do next? Sorry? The autofill, yeah, exactly, because for the last ledger sequence, the fees there. So the autofill function is going to do that for us. So let's create a new const. So prepared. Yeah, I was looking at this. So client.autofill. And we pass the NF token min transaction. And because this is a promise, it's asynchronous, we need to await. And because I forgot async at the beginning, it was complaining, so now that's good. So don't forget to put async here, at the beginning of the function, all right? So then you'll be able to await later, all right? So this will again put us the last ledger sequence, the fees, in the object. All good? I don't want to go too fast. Everyone is at this step? Yeah? All right, so now that we have the prepared transaction, we are going to sign it. So let's create a new const, signed, and we're going to use the wallet to sign that transaction. Once this is signed, we can finally submit it to the ledger. So let's say constant response, wallet dot, sorry, that's not the wallet, that's the client. Submit and wait. Signed transaction blob. I'm going to console that response and return it. Let me go up a bit. Is everything okay here? So after signing it, I'm using the same function from the client as before. We are submitting to the ledger, and we are waiting for the ledger to tell us that, yes, the transaction is validated. All right, and then I'm consoling it, I'm logging the response and returning the response in case we want to do something else with that response. Tell me when it's good. Tell me when everyone is at the step. Is all good there? Yeah? All right. So before we execute that transaction, I want to show you something in the ledger, in the Explorer. Let's take the address, sorry, the public address, starting with an R. We are going to go to test.bithome.com. We're going to go type the address, and we can see basically the same information as what we had with the other Explorer. Yeah, it's big enough. So we have the balance. The balance has been decreased a little bit because I made a payment, so that's why it's showing 99, but that would be 99998, something like that here. We can see all the transactions that happened, and we can see as well the NFT here. And if I go into owned NFT, there's nothing. And what we want is, after submitting the transaction, we want that NFT to appear there. Are you good there? Is it okay? Maxime, is all good? Yeah, all good? All right. Everything is fine there? So good? All right. So let's try to call that function now from index.ts. We need to await again because this is a promise. So we're going to mint the NFT. All right. So the URI, let's go to gphy.com and let's choose a GIF. And sure, there are plenty of docs that will appear. So we can, let's take this one, for example. Okay, so type anything on gphy.com. Once you have the GIF, you can click on share, and you can copy the GIF link. Let me know when you're okay. Can define it here as well. we need yes, I forgot actually something. I forgot something. We want to set actually the flags. We want to set the flags to transferable. So let me quickly take that. Yeah. So you remember that we mentioned that an NFT can be transferable or not. So in here, because we want to create offers after that and we want to accept offers, we need that NFT to be transferable. So we have, I think that's an enum there. We have an enum that contains all the flags available for NFTs. So I'm going to use this one to mention that the flag needs to be 8, which means transferable. All right? All right. So let me know when you're done with that. This is again here. I'm again specifying it because we want it to be transferable. But if you're doing like in production, you maybe don't have to specify that flag here. You would specify that flag dynamically every time you call that function. All right? Okay. So let's again call this. So let's see. We need the second parameter. We need to specify the wallet, which is going to submit that address. Okay. So again, this is wallet 1 because the wallet 1 is the minter. That's why I'm specifying it. Don't specify wallet 2. And here, so we need to provide more. Yeah, so we can provide token taxon here.
Can you repeat the NFT taxon?
Cool. So now, if everyone is ready, we can try to mint that NFT. And we are going to, let me open a terminal in my Visual Studio, making sure I'm in the correct app. So I'm going to cd app starter. I'm clearing this. Make sure as well when you call the function that you comment the send payment function that we created this morning. All right, so you know you're going to send the payment as well. It's okay, it doesn't hurt, but it's better to just focus on the NFT. So we run now the npm start and we'll see if everything works fine. Yep, so I'm canceling a promise, probably I forgot to await, yes. So don't forget the submit and wait returns a promise, so you need to await as well here. But the transaction probably passed because I didn't have any response. So let's go back to the Explorer. And yes, so when I refresh the page, you can see that now I have my NFT appearing in BitHump in my Explorer. So the goal here is that for you to have the same. So try to submit the transaction. Let me know if there is an error. And if there is, I'm happy to help. Otherwise, let me know as well those who have been able to submit the transaction successfully. All good. So can we move on to the next step, which is like creating an offer? And so we can sell that NFT. Good? Let's move on to that. So we'll need to create another function and use another transaction type. So this one, NF token, create offer. All right? So we're going to create a sell offer. You can as well create a buy offer, but we are going to create a sell offer. So let's do that. So the same thing. Let me as well show you quickly my slide that I had. All right, so now we have the buyer, and the buyer we are going to create so the sell offer, and then the buyer will accept that offer. So there will be first the sell online that we can see on BitHome, and then there will be like the transfer of the NFT that we'll see later. All right, so that's another part, so we'll see later, but let's go back to the code. And same thing, I think we can still use nft.ts, and we have the mint NFT function. Now let's create a create NFT offer function. So create NFT offer, same thing, that's our function. And we'll use a new type, so create NFT offer props. So same thing here, we need to import from XRPL.js the NF token create offer transaction. Create offer, this one. All right. Let me know if I'm going too fast. We are going to omit from this the transaction type and the account. Okay, so 2 parameters again to the function. First one will be the create NFT offer props, and second one will be the transaction options. And in the transaction options, we'll extract the wallet. Everything okay? I'm waiting 10 seconds. Actually here, so I'm going to show you like another function from the client, from the SDK. We are going to summarize like the autofill, sign, and submit and wait into one line. I'm going to show you this right now. So first, let's again prepare the transaction, very similar to what we've done before. So offer transaction, that's of type NFT create offer. I'm going to spread the props. The account is the wallet address, and the transaction type is NF token create offer. Let me know when it's okay. So very similar to what we've done before. We specify the account, we specify the transaction type, we spread all the other fields. Yes?
We don't need the flag for this one?
We'll set it up actually when we call that function. Yeah. But good point. So we'll use the flag sell, create sell offer. So if we go, let's have a look at xrpl.org. Sorry, I can leave the code. Tell me when I can move, because I see people are still looking at the screen. Tell me when I can move to xrpl.org. Is everything okay? Yeah? All right. So xrpl.org. So let's have a look at the NF token create offer. Let's have a look at the flags. And the flags, you see, we have one flag actually, sell NF token. So when we mention that flag, we specify to the ledger that it's a sell offer. And if we don't, that will be a buy offer. All right? So we're going to use that. So now let's go back to the code. And I said that I'm going to show you like summarizing, like maybe joining autofill, sign, and submit wait. So we're going to do that in one line. So the way we do it is with the client. We're going to submit and wait. So it takes 2 parameters. So the first one will be offer transaction, but the second one is an object where you can specify different options. One of them is autofill, so you can set that to true. And that basically replaces the line we would have had just after just after this object here. Okay, autofill true. And we will specify the wallet. And here there is no need to mention it. So I don't know if you know in JavaScript, if the field and the variable have the same name, you don't need to mention it twice. So there is no need to do this, for example. It works, but you can avoid rewriting wallet. And again, so await is complaining because we need to make that function async. All right, so you see that we have even like shortened the way to submit transactions to the ledger by using this object, a second parameter to the submit and wait function. We autofill and we provide a wallet, which means that we'll sign the transaction in the background. So the transaction needs to be signed by, for now, the minter, because the minter is the owner of the NFT, and it's the one that will create the sell offer. Okay. You create it, you want to sell it on the market, so you have to create that transaction now. NF token create offer. Make sense? Yeah? Yeah?
It's not minted before the offer has been accepted.
So sorry, repeat?
It's not minted before the offer has been accepted.
No, it's minted before. We minted before. So if we go back to the Explorer here, it appears here because it has been minted already. And you can create an offer only if it has been minted, right? So now let's quickly have a look at the create offer documentation. So NF token ID. We'll need to specify NF token ID because this is the one we need to sell. And we'll specify the flag because we want to sell it. And the amount as well because there is a need for an amount. We don't want to sell it for free. So let's go back to index.ts. Don't forget to comment the mint NFT function. And we will, again, use the create NFT offer with two parameters again. Second one is the wallet, so the wallet one, because that's the one selling. And the first one, we need different options. So flags, that will be, we can also import that from XRPL. So from XRPL, create offer flags. Okay, so you can import that, again, I think that's an enum. So you can import that to then specify it in the flags when we call the function. Tell me if, if that's okay. I'm not going too fast. All good? We import so that, that flag from XRPL and we'll use it here. Create offer flags, sell token. We need to specify the token ID. So for the token ID, we can go back to the Explorer. That's the easy solution. Again, is that okay? I can see people like still looking at the screen, but we specify the flags. Now we're going to specify the token ID. We go back to BitHump. We click on the NFT. And in there, so we have the NFT ID here that we can copy, and that's the one we will use to sell. Is that everything okay? You got it? Yeah?
Then what is the serial thing? I think that the serial was the ID, but...
So that's a good question, actually. I think that's like an auto-increment of the number of NFT you have inside your account. That's probably something which is managed directly by RippleD. I need to double check on that. I don't want to tell you any mistake, but...
I saw on some screen too that it was auto-increment, so
yeah. Yeah. So I think that's it. So there are potentially like some fields which are not defined inside the transaction type, the transaction object that we did before. So but I think, yeah, that's an auto-increment regarding number of tokens you have. But I can double check as well and let you know. All right, so we'll copy this NFT ID and we'll paste it there. So it's still complaining, so we need to add the amount. And the amount, let's say we want to sell it for 100 XRP. And remember that the amounts are in drops, so you need to multiply by 1 million. So 100 million drops equals 100 XRP. Is everything okay? Yeah? Tell me when everything is fine, and we'll try to submit that transaction. And I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think there is like a proposal to allow these two steps to be mixed into one. So, but I think that's like a standard, like an ID which is being proposed but has not been implemented yet. I would need to double check on that, but I think I've seen something related to that in the XRPL Foundation GitHub. Okay, so let's try to submit the transaction. Let's go back to, well, actually, let me open the terminal here. New terminal. I've commented the mint NFT. I'm submitting the transaction. I need to starter. Yes, maybe I've just forgot to, yeah, I forgot the console log the result. I can return the result as well, but I think the transaction passed, and here, so here I still own it, you see, but if I go to NFT offers here, I should be able to see the offer, and here it is, right? So we have the offer, a sell offer for 100 XRP. And now, technically, everyone can buy it. You can buy it if you have the sell ID. So if you go to inside the offer, you have the offer ID. And this is what we are going to use in the next step when we want to accept the offer. Okay, any question here? Could you manage to get it on sell, your NFT? Yeah, all good? In the create offer, if you do a buy, you need to specify the owner. So let me show you quickly something. If you look at the intro file that I created, you'll see that I complicated it a little bit, the type of create NFT offer. I'm doing what's called a discriminated union. I'm doing a discriminated union. I don't know if you know about that, but basically, I'm specifying that if I have a sell offer, the owner can never be specified. But if I specify the owner, then there is no flags to be set. So it's like a way to, in TypeScript, to be sure that you don't mix the properties between the buy and sell offer. Yeah, that's the way it works. So, which makes sense. If you want to buy, you need to specify the owner of the NFT you want to buy it. I mean, you want to buy too. And if you sell, well, you don't need to specify any owner. I don't think we'll have the time to do the reverse way. I feel, I mean, we'll see if really some people want to do it. But let's do the last one that I want to show you, is the accept offer. Okay, so the NFT will be transferred from wallet 1 to wallet 2. Are you ready to do that? Quick, let's do it, yeah? Okay, so let's go back to the NFT file, and same procedure, we're going to create the function accept NFT offer. It's an arrow function. We create the type, so accept NFT offer props, and same thing, we omit from the accept. So we need to import it from XRPL. Accept offer. Transaction type. And account. I went pretty fast here. Is that okay? We just need to import this one, NF token accept offer from XRPL, and do the same thing as we did before. We create a new type, and we omit the transaction type and the account. Okay, I can try to show you. Let me reduce this and mint, so you have the view on everything, hopefully. Yeah. See, we imported it, accept offer from XRPL, and we use it here in the type. All good? All right. So same scenario, and we are going to use the shortcut to sign, autofill, and submit in one line. So we prepare. So transaction, let's say accept transaction. It's an NF token, accept offer type. We spread the props. Oops, sorry. I went too fast, so in the parameters, we accept the props here, which are accept NFT offer props, and then the transaction options. Is that okay? Not too fast? So same as before. We take the props, which are from the type we defined above, and we extract the wallet from the transaction options. Okay? I just wait again like 30 seconds. Is that big enough? I can make it, yeah, right here. So we take all the fields for that transaction type, and we extract the wallet. Let me know when it's okay. And then we'll prepare the transaction. All good? Yep. All right, so similar as before, we spread the props. We specify the transaction type, which is NF token accept offer, and the account, which is the wallet.address. Okay, let me know when it's good, when the transaction is prepared. All right, so then we need to do the last one, is to sign, to autofill actually, autofill, sign, and submit, submit wait. So the result is equal to the client dot submit and wait. We pass the transaction, so accept transaction. And in the second parameter, we specify autofill to true and the wallet to sign the transaction. Is that okay? So similar, submit and wait here.
Wait and I think.
And wait, yeah. Merci, thank you. All good, so you await, submit and wait, you specify autofill to true, you specify the wallet so it can sign, and we're good. Tell me if you have any issue or if I'm going too fast. It's okay? All right, so now we need to call that function, but the wallet needs to be the wallet number 2 because that's the one who wants to accept the offer. All right, so we will go back to BitHump, and we need to take the offer ID. So let me start again. So if we go to the NFT, here the NFT page, you have as well the NFT offer tab. You see it? Is that okay here? NFT offers tab. You go there, you see the cell, you open it, and in there you have the offer ID at the top that you can copy. Tell me again if I'm going too fast. You copy that offer ID and we'll use that into the function. So if we go back to index.ts, I'm going to comment first the create offer function, and I'm going to use the accept NFT offer. So here we need to specify the NF token sell offer. This one here. The second parameter I'm going to also specify quickly. That's the wallet number 2. All right. That's, again, the second wallet, the buyer that wants to accept that offer. That's very important. Don't make a mistake. And it seems it's OK. We just need to specify the sell offer. So let's try to send that transaction. Just quickly before that, I will open in the Explorer the address of the second account. So I'm going to take, again, the public address that I had in my .env to copy it in the BitHome Explorer. Am I going too fast? Is that OK? No? OK? Yeah? So let's go to the Explorer. I'm going to open a new window. I'm typing the address of my second wallet. Owned NFT. Owned NFT here, there is nothing. OK? The first one has it. So let me go back to this one here, NFT. That's the first wallet. That's the second wallet. Now let's submit the transaction. Let me go back again and open a terminal. Starter, clear, and let's try to submit that. So I want to accept that offer. If everything goes fine, yes, it seems so. We have a test success. So now that was the wallet 1. If I refresh, I shouldn't see my NFT anymore. It's not there. If I go to my wallet number 2, it's there. So now you see there has been the transfer. The buy is complete. Well, the sell is complete in that case. And the NFT is in the wallet number 2. You see, so once you have the client and once you have the wallets, it's very easy actually to communicate with the XRP ledger. It's literally like just 2 lines of code. Well, you create that object, and then you submit and wait, and that's it. So then, as I said, after, you really need to play with the functionalities. You need to understand how it behaves if you set the flags to this or that, you know. That's where the work comes. So thank you. Before we go next to Sam, I just want to thank you, everyone, for participating into this session too, and understanding how you can create NFT, how you can mint NFT, how you can create an offer, how you can accept an offer. So congratulations to everyone for being able to do that and seeing your result in the Explorer. I'm very happy that it worked, so thank you very much.